please?
Well, you're not going to go back to see Cruz. Listen, the fog is too thick. Will you please pull over?
I can see the road.
What? Would you want that car? Come on, you're all on the road.
Leave me alone.
I'm taking the wheel.
Get away from me. I can't see the road.
May I help you?
Huh? I was just going to see how Miss Capwell's doing. Listen, if she's asleep, don't worry, I won't wait.
She checked out of the hospital last night.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'll call her at home.
The police had her moved to an undisclosed location.
The police? You mean Inspector Castillo?
Eden, it's me. How you doing? Did you get a nice room? Mm-hmm. No, of course not. You and I are the only ones that know where you are. Well, I don't know. I got everybody working on who was driving that car, so it shouldn't take too long. Well, could you come up with a little patience then? I mean, it may take a few days to crack the case. Well, for starters, you could tell me all you remember about the accident again. I know you already did, but I want to hear it again. Yeah, all of it.
Kelly.
Kelly, why is it you keep seeking out the one person who's done you the most harm? You were such a good patient before he came here. You were starting to work things through. Can't you see that he's only going to do you harm?
I was just worried about him.
Well, you wasted a trip. Mr. Kupnick has been taken somewhere else, and this time you won't be able to find out where.
Don't worry about me. I'm just passing through, all right?
Brian! I don't believe it!
Who's that?
I mean, I thought you were coming back. They said that you...
Excuse me, my name is Brian.
Sure you are. Don't fool me.
Oh, that's my brother's name.
Your brother?
Yeah, he got stuck in a joint like this a long time ago. People used to say that we looked a lot alike.
And you're not Brian?
You knew him, didn't you? You knew my brother.
Yeah, hey. Where were you?
Outside. I was just outside. Such a nice day outside. Maybe you should go for a walk before you rush off to work.
Maybe I will, Santana. But I think I'll take the more conservative route and put my clothes on first.
Nobody saw me. It's early outside. No one's out there. My head was so clogged when I got up this morning. I just felt that if I could get out in the fresh air, maybe it would help just a little bit.
You aren't going to arrest me for indecent exposure, are you?
No, darling, I think I'll let you off this time.
Who was calling here so early?
Nobody was calling here. I called Eden. Without a witness, we are up a creek. I figured maybe she could remember something about the accident. At this point in time, we truly need all the help we can get. So I called her.
Didn't she already tell you everything she remembered?
Well, sometimes in cases like this, you know, people's memories return in stages. Most accident victims tend to suppress what first happened, and then when they relax, they remember things. I figured maybe Eden has calmed down a little bit by now.
What did she say?
What did she say? Santana, what is the matter with you?
Nothing. I just asked you a question about what Eden said. I guess when it comes to Eden, I am not allowed to say anything.
You know, last night was pretty crazy. Maybe we should talk about it.
What about last night?
Well, you said you were with Keith.
So?
So is there anything else you want to tell me?
I said what I had to say. Don't you believe me?
Look, this is not an accusation. I just want you to know that if there is anything else that we haven't covered, I am willing to listen.
Look, I told you that I didn't sleep with him. I don't know what I have to do to convince you that...
Listen, you could start by acting more like yourself.
What is that supposed to mean?
That means that you toss and turn all night. You come in the door, you're breathing so hard I can hear you half a block away. Now, what is all this tension?
I guess I must be lying.
I didn't say that. Whatever it is that is standing between us, I want it to disappear. That's all, okay? Now, if there's something we have to dredge up from the past and deal with, let's just do it and get it over with. And if there's nothing, that's fine, too. But we have to start over now. This constant static between us has got to stop.
I want that, too. I just feel so guilty sometimes.
Well, why do you feel guilty if you haven't done anything?
Because I have been acting like a child. I try to hurt you. I try to make you jealous, and I try to make it seem like there's something going on.
Well, I realize I am partly to blame for that. I mean, I know I've hurt you, too. I didn't mean to, but I did, and I don't blame you if you're trying to get even with me.
But I never should have done that. It only made things worse. I should have known that.
Well, we can't do it over. I mean, this is day one. It's go on from here now. That's it.
Can you forgive me?
What have you done that I have to forgive?
Cruz, I want to start all over again, too. I just want to forget everything that's happened.
No. If we forget, you don't forget things like this. If you make a mistake, you have to recognize it, remember it, deal with it, fix it. If you forget, it just keeps happening over and over again.
Will you just hold me? I just want to stay like this all day.
I wish we could.
I know. You have to go to work.
Look, why don't you come on down to the station this afternoon? We can have lunch together. We'll go to a restaurant. We'll just get a sandwich and go for a walk if you want, and then we can talk about it, all right?
Oh, come on. You don't want me interrupting your busy day.
Yes, I do. I want you to. That's what I'm talking about. That's a mistake I make all the time. I work. I never spend time. From now on, when I have an hour, I want to spend it with my wife.
Why don't you come home for lunch?
If I come home from lunch, I got to drive here and drive back. Takes me half the time driving. That's nothing. Now, if you just meet me there, we'll have some time, all right? I'll see you later.
Where the hell's Castillo?
Oh, good morning.
Hello, where is he? Where is he? He's in the little boy's room getting a cup of coffee. I don't have all day.
He hasn't come in yet.
Oh, really? Why not?
Checked your watch lately? Day shift doesn't usually begin till about 8.
Oh, I didn't know he was such a slave to ritual. I thought with an important case for him, he might be willing to put in a few extra hours.
You talking about the hit and run?
Oh, he decided to relocate the state's key witness without informing the state. What do you know about this? Anything?
Oh, sorry, I don't.
What are they stashing your report?
Cruz should be in sometime in the next half hour. You can ask him yourself.
Never a half hour wasting this stuff.
Hey, if I were you, I'd stick around.
One of your pals from the Bar Association should be strolling through here at any time now. Oh, really? You know what the charges are?
What?
Assaulting an officer, among other things. And all I was doing is pointing out the way to the drunk tank.
Don't tell me you got clipped by Mason Capwell.
Nope, wrong gender. Perpetrator in question is right over there.
Julia Wainwright?
That's right. We picked her up last night, bombed out of her mind. DWI, assaulting, resisting, you name it, we booked her for it.
Well, what do you know?
Oh, Rick, I didn't tell you.
That's
nervous calling doctor.
Fine. Are you okay? That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I have a blinding headache and bouts between nausea and embarrassment, but other than that, I'm fine.
Well, I never figured you for a hard drinker. This has got to be a first.
I've just been so upset lately, Brick. And I know it's no excuse, but I had a few drinks. And it was the first time in a long time I was able to forget. I forgot everything. I don't know why I got behind the wheel of the car. I'm sorry.
So, do you want to question Miss Wainwright before I let her go on bail?
No. I think you got the situation in hand, Detective.
I just thought you might be interested because of the Capwell case.
What?
Well, it's a long shot, but where Miss Wainwright's car was stopped wasn't far from Inspiration Point. And that's where Eden Capwell was hit, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm not sure how much she remembers, but probably not much. Maybe she saw another car leaving the scene. I mean, you never know. Detective Whitney. Yes, he is. Call for you.
Thanks.
I'll see you on Miss Wainwright.
Paul, don't let her walk out of here until I talk to her, okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Keith, I've been calling you everywhere. What am I going to do?
My car, it's like a big red sign pointing right at me. When I saw it this morning, I nearly went out of my mind.
What about the car?
The headlight is all smashed. The
Glass is smashed. I might as well take out a big ad in the paper saying I ran into Eden last night.
Well, Cruz hasn't seen it yet, has he?
No, not yet, but how can I keep it from him?
Don't worry about it.
What?
I said don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
How? It's right here in my garage in plain sight, and he expects me to see him later. I don't know how to get out of it.
Well, listen. Just calm down, get a hold of yourself. Don't get hysterical. That's the only way we can be hurt. I mean, a little headlight, we can handle that.
Oh, you make it sound so simple.
Listen, forget about the car. Put it out of your mind.
How can I put it out of my mind?
I gotta go. Everything's gonna be all right, okay? Bye.
Keith!
You'd better stay put this time, Kelly. No more trying to find your friend.
I won't. Just tell me where they took him.
I'm sorry, I can't trust you with that information. You've disappointed us too many times.
I promise I'll be good. I just want to know if he's safe.
He's safe, but what's more important, you're safe from him. Now, why don't you try to concentrate on being a productive member of group this morning? You've kept everyone waiting long enough.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hold things up. Looking for Mr. Kupnick. I took him out of isolation this morning, and I wanted to know where he was.
I've just explained to Kelly that Mr. Kupnick's whereabouts are not to be discussed. Dr. Rawlings is going to try to help Mr. Kupnick to control his aggressions, and that's all you need to know. You used to have trouble controlling your hostility, didn't you, Ralph? Dr. Rawlings helped you.
What did he do to help you?
I don't think Ralph likes to talk about it.
Why? Is it bad?
The point is that Ralph can be with other people now. He can be part of the group. He can be a member of the community. He couldn't do that before. It was much too dangerous. But now everything's fine.
Brian Bradford. That was my brother's name.
I could have sworn you were Brian. I didn't believe him, you know.
Believe who?
When they said that he was dead. I mean, I didn't think he'd let it happen.
Let what happen?
He was ready for it, you know. He was ready. I mean, he expected something, and he was ready.
I don't understand. What?
Brian was afraid. He told me.
He was afraid? Tell me, you mean for his life he was afraid? Please, don't go away. It's very important. I find out what happened to my brother. Come here.
Somebody coming.
Fine, let him come. We can keep our voices down and still get this through. What happened?
It had to do with Macintosh.
Who?
McIntosh.
You never give up, do you, Kupnik? Well, neither do I.
Did it ever occur to you that I might be in a better position than most people to be aware of my rights?
No one's trying to violate your rights, Miss Wainwright. All we want to know is whether you saw anybody out on the road near Inspiration Point.
The state is willing to drop the assault charges in exchange for a little cooperation. After all, we want to see the person who ran down Eden Capwell captured, now don't we? Am I right?
I told you. Until there is a lawyer present, I am not talking.
Well, there are 2 lawyers present. What do you want?
The same courtesy you give to every other citizen. And if I don't get it, I won't hesitate to file charges of harassment.
The only charges that are going to be filed here are going to be against you. You've lost your license. Your name is going to be in the paper. Respected lawyer fails breathalyzer test with flying colors. I mean, isn't that enough for one day without making us think you got something to hide?
I am not talking to you or you.
Well, you know, the more you don't talk, the more we think that something else happened out there besides you running past a couple of stop signs.
You know, this is getting beyond harassment now. Now we're getting into entrapment.
Your car has been impounded, lady. And if we find any evidence, we'll track it down very quickly. And if your mind suddenly clears and you get your memory back and you want to make a statement, just holler. Okay? Come on.
Better take it easy, don't you think? We don't have any reason to suspect her of driving the hit-and-run car.
Don't you think we want to find out what she saw?
Yeah, but now she thinks we got her pegged as a suspect.
Don't you think this is a good way of getting at the truth? You have a lot to learn about being a detective, my friend. Look, come on, Julie. He was just bluffing. He was trying to get you to say something.
I was too damn near the scene of that accident. They're going to have a field day with that.
Well, fine. Why didn't you just deny any involvement in it? I mean, obviously you would know if you'd hit somebody or not.
That's just it. I don't know. Ever since I got into that car, I don't remember a bloody thing.
I've posted a guard outside. That ought to keep you here.
I thought you said that I was to be assigned to another room.
You are. But they'll be picking you up here.
Who's they?
Why should I answer your questions honestly? You've never been honest with me.
Well, a prisoner always gets just one last request, so how about if I get one question and you give me just one honest answer?
If your question is, what are we going to do with you? Well, you'll find out soon enough.
That's not my question.
What is it then?
I want to know why you scared my brother to death. I mean literally to death.
Julia didn't say anything in her own defense.
Well, you know, Timmons was playing Mr. Strong on. If I was her, I probably would have kept my mouth shut, too.
Well, man, I can't imagine her having anything to do with this, Paul.
Well, she was in the area, less than a half a mile away on Beach Road. I just thought maybe she could have seen somebody.
All right, as long as we don't throw any more accusations around till we have something to go on. Let's keep our beloved district attorney away from Ms. Wainwright, all right?
I'll do my best.
Thanks. Castillo.
Cruz, it's me.
Hi, Santana. Listen, I'm gonna... Why don't you shoot for 11:30? I'm gonna take my break now.
Look, I've been thinking.
There's a problem?
Yes, I really wish you would come here instead. I know we wouldn't have as much time together, but there's something that I really need to tell you.
And I just don't think I feel comfortable anyplace else but home.
I see. That's the way you want it.
Yes, I do.
Just tell me one thing. Has it had anything to do with Keith Timmons?
Look, I think it would be much better for the both of us if we wouldn't get into it now, okay?
I'm not asking for a big explanation. I just want to know if Keith is involved.
Yes.
He did have something to do with it.
Alice, I've got to find out what they're doing with Pearl. This is all my fault. It is. He only came in here to help me, and look what happened. I know I've got to help him. Now it's my turn. Alice, what they're doing to him, it's not good. I know it. We got to get out of here. Somehow, we've got to find a way to get out.
Come in, Julia.
I suppose you heard that I've been arrested.
Yeah, I heard.
Timmons and one of your detectives asked me some questions that I didn't want to answer then, but I'm ready to answer them now.
All right. I guess I should show you something first.
What?
This is the report from the garage where we took your car. It came up clean. There's no sign of any impact. I take it you were concerned about being implicated in hit and run.
Oh, God. Cruz. The way Timmons was talking to me made me think that
That you could have killed Eden? Well, you know, you could have. I think you were real lucky, Julia. You had no business being on the road in the condition you were in.
I know.
Were you really so out of it that you didn't even know whether or not you had an accident? Well, I guess you don't remember seeing another vehicle in the area then.
I don't remember anything. I'm sorry. But maybe I will, you know, and if I do, I will feel a lot less loathsome about myself and a little more positive. It's just right now it's all a blank.
Okay, well, if that changes, you let me know.
Oh, well. Cruz, I just want to keep apologizing to you. It's not an excuse. I mean, I don't think it's going to make any difference. I just don't... I want you to know that I'm not going to do this again.
Hey, I know what you've been through. I'll have Detective Whitney take your statement.
Okay.
Well, Castillo. Finally caught up with you. Got a meeting with the chief.
Now?
Yeah, a little conference over lunch. Meaning to set this up for a long time.
Well, Keith, I'm afraid the chief and you are going to have to confer without me. I have other plans.
Really? What are your plans?
That's my business.
You know, when you get to be the chief, you can call the shots, but until then, I'd remember who my superiors are.
My superiors usually give me more than 5 minutes notice before a meeting. I'm sure the chief will understand.
Hey, where are you going? I'd love to know what you're risking your job for.
I'm going to go home and talk to my wife. Apparently there's something she's got to tell me. Can't wait.
Won't be much longer, Mr. Cuffley. Are you comfortable?
Yes, for now. Somehow I have the feeling that things will be changing in the near future.
Try not to anticipate. Whatever you're imagining is undoubtedly worse than the actual experience.
I wonder if you tell all of your vegetables the same thing.
Dr. Rawlings to Ward B, please. Emergency in Ward B. Dr. Rawlings?
Well, if it ain't one thing, it's another, huh, Doc?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, catch your act later. Kelly.
Earl, are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm terrific. Just look here.
Oh, what kind of treatment are they going to do to you?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I think you better split and go back to your section. You see, they find you here, and maybe they just decide to do two for the price of one, huh?
Earl, I'm going to get you out of here.
Yeah, well, that's a beautiful thought, but I think the die has been cast. I think they got me this time, okay?
No, I won't let it happen. Earl, I have a plan.
Yeah, well, I had a plan, too, kid. A lot of good it did me, huh?
No, listen, my plan's already working. How do you think I got Rawlings out of here so I could talk to you?
Wait a minute. That was your voice emergency in Ward B? Hey, you're all right, kid. You know that?
Everything's going to be all right, Pearl. I got Alice and all the others, and we're going to work together on this.
Okay, I'll tell you what. There's a guy in room 702. I think he'd like to help out, too. But you got to work fast. The minute Rawlings finds out this is no emergency, he's going to be back in a flash. And remember, please, try to be careful. If you think you're going to get caught, just cease and desist.
I have to go.
Wait a minute. Promise me. Don't take the heat from me. I am not worth it.
Oh, Pearl, yes, you are.
So what's going on?
What?
What'd you want to show me?
Oh, nothing, really. I was just thinking that we ought to get this place straightened up one of these days. You know, every time I back in here, I think I'm going to run into something.
What, I thought I was coming home so we could talk. You want me to clean out the garage?
No, of course not. I just thought that this would be something that would be on my list. It would be a great project to keep me out of trouble.
What kind of trouble are you in?
Just an expression. You know what I mean.
No, I don't. On the phone, you sounded like there was a death in the family. I come racing home, and now I find you in the garage talking about projects?
Look, I know I'm crazy. My mind has been going in a million different directions since you left this morning. One minute, I'm so excited about the future, and the next minute, I'm not sure that there's going to be any.
Well, there will be if we want it. And if we're both willing to be honest with one another.
Yes.
Yes. So why don't you begin by telling me why you were so anxious for me to come home? I believe you mentioned something about Keith.
It just doesn't seem so important now that you're here.
Why don't you tell me anyway, and then we can forget about it?
I just hate Keith now. I just wish he'd never come back into our lives.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
You know, I know that I haven't betrayed you, but I still feel like I have. I've said all these things about you, and I complained about our marriage. Sorry, I just can't stand the thought of even thinking about it. Are you sure you can forgive me?
Santana, I told you I think we deserve a second chance. No matter what has happened in the past.
Cruz, I love you so much. I don't know how you can be so patient with me. I don't have any right to ask you to understand, but I'm just so glad that you do. I promise you that I will never, ever do anything to make you lose faith in me. I promise.
Is that all you wanted to say to me? There was nothing else?
Oh, of course there's something else. I want you to cancel all of your plans for tonight because we are going to celebrate. You know the welcome home dinner for Brandon that I ruined? Well, we're going to have another one tonight. Will you honor me with your presence?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Not much of a statement, but I said that if I remember anything, I'll let the department know.
Okay. Well, looks like this is all there is to it. We're free to go. I'm going to take this up to the clerk. Excuse me.
Oh, Rick. It's been a long morning for you. Thank you for waiting.
Hey, I used to be a chauffeur, remember? I never miss a chance to drive somebody home. Ready?
Well, if this just doesn't take the cake.
What are you doing here?
I was just about to drive the lady home, so if you don't mind.
As a matter of fact, I do mind. You see, this lady had the gall to moralize to me when I was in kind of a bad way. So I just couldn't pass up a chance to return the favor.
I'm not sure if you noticed, pal, but this place is crawling with cops. I'd be more than happy to go get one and have you thrown out of here.
It's all right. Let him say his piece.
How's it feel, Miss Wainwright? Public humiliation's kind of an acquired taste, isn't it?
I thought you were going to do this town a favor and get out of it.
Oh, I'm on my way. Well, when I heard about your little run-in with the law, I just felt I had to come pay my condolences. That's the least I can do for someone who so willingly helped in my wife's death. All right. Hey, the lady just said I could say my piece, killer. You know, maybe you shouldn't fight her battles for her. She's lethal enough on her own.
Oh, man, please turn me loose on it. But how do you find out that you're arrested anyway? I don't get it.
I think I do.
Whoa, hey, no, wait. I heard what you did to Detective Whitney. Don't make the same mistake twice.
You know, I would think that a district attorney would have something better to do with his time than engineer these little stunts to satisfy his personal grudges.
Oh, well, no, there was no engineering required, just a little phone call to Dr. McCormick. But you know, I should use my time better, and I did this morning. I had a little chat with a judge who's slated to hear your case.
Well, we can safely assume that you weren't trying to prejudice him in my favor.
Oh, woman, you heard me. You got me all wrong. I made a nice little deal.
For me?
Yeah, for you. I mean, not only are you not going to have to do any time, you and I are going to end up in the same backyard.
Not a moment too soon. If I don't get off my feet, I'm going to keel over. Every time Martha calls in sick, I'm elected to fill in. Why is that?
Would you like me to take something to the kitchen for you?
No, I'm going home for lunch today. But thanks anyway. I'm glad to see you making yourself useful. Ma'am?
It couldn't be better. Hodges is going home for lunch.
Who's her replacement?
I don't know, but we'll deal with her at the lunch.
Let's get the uniforms.
Come on, let's go. This way.
Right, goodbye.
Where's Greg?
Oh, I sent him home. I thought you'd be with the judge for a while. How'd it go?
It didn't.
Oh, what, he wouldn't see you?
You know damn well he wouldn't see me. You probably told him I agreed to this deal from the beginning.
Well, you'll never get a better deal than this.
A couple of chain gangs would be more fun than working under your thumb in the public defender's office.
You know something? That could be arranged, except I'd have to extradite you to another state. There's a dearth of chain gangs in the state.
Why are you doing this? What on earth would you want me to work for you in your office when we obviously despise each other so much?
Oh, speak for yourself.
You don't like me any more than I like you.
Well, girl, I think you ought to broaden your horizons.
My what?
Well, you know, up until now, your practice has been pretty clean, you know. I mean, a few messy divorces, but other than that, it's been really pristine. But then, when you have to handle something like Mark McCormick, who's a real termite, you just fall apart, you know? But there's something called justice. You can't throw the guy to the wolves. I mean, even a termite deserves a fair trial.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind in case you're ever brought before the judge.
Oh, I'm going to love to see you with the lowlifes around here. I mean, compared to Mark McCormick, I mean, these guys make him look like Mr. Clean. But the funny thing is that they all deserve the same treatment under justice that you and I get, all right? So you're going to have to spend the next 6 months defending these people. I mean, I'm talking about rapists. I'm talking about wife beaters. I'm talking about murderers. And you are going to be their angel of mercy.
And you're going to be there right over my shoulder, laughing away, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, your methods, your strategy should be reviewed. I want you to give the same passion to these cases as you give to the David Laurent case.
I would rather go to jail. I would rather die than work for you.
Oh, no, you're not sentenced to die. You're sentenced to 6 months as a public defender. Apparently, the judge felt that your service would be better used for the state. So, this judge is very sensitive about his creative rulings, you know. So I think if you suggested something like, well, let's say 90 days in a county jail, well, he'd take that wrong. And besides that, you're not going to be working for me. I'll just be choosing some of your cases.
You're going to live to regret this. I hope you know that.
No, contraire. Fun is just beginning.
Hey, Brandon, were you out?
No, but he wants to know if he can spend the afternoon at Jimmy's.
Oh, that works out just great because I've got so many errands to run before tonight.
All right, don't knock yourself out, okay? This is just family.
Oh, no, just the most important people in my life. For them, dinner should be special.
Glad to see you're so happy.
Right now, I can't imagine being any other way. I just wish it would have been like this from the very beginning.
So we got off to a late start. At least we got there. I'm going to walk Brandon over to Jimmy's.
Then, do you have to go right back to work?
I don't know. I suppose I could call and see if they could spare me for another hour.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay.
Just a second.
Ma'am, I have a delivery for Inspector Castillo.
No, he just stepped out. He'll be back in a few minutes if you want to wait.
Just see that he gets this. It's important.
Can you tell me what it is, or is it top secret?
Forensics report about last night's hit and run.
Oh, that was quick work. Did they find anything out?
Some glass on the road that might mean something.
Glass?
From a headlight. It could be traced to the car.
Dr. Rawlings isn't in right now. I'm busy. You'll have to come back later.
It's Kelly, Nurse Hodges.
I can't see you right now, Kelly.
Please,
I'm about to leave.
I need to talk to Dr. Rawlings. I need to see him. I'm having these thoughts, these nightmares, only I'm wide awake, and they're so real, I'm scared.
Well, Dr. Rawlings is very busy right now.
Then will you talk to me, please? I don't want to be alone.
I told you I'm going home. I was just finishing some paperwork.
Well, I won't bother you. Maybe if you give me my medication, and then I'll go.
Kelly, I'm not authorized.
And please, I'm due for it in 15 minutes anyway, and we could just do it a little early. Please, my heart is beating so fast I feel like I'm going to die.
Kelly, you're not going
Please
to die.
let me come inside. If I'm with someone, I'll be okay. I'm sorry. I'll be fine once I take my medication, and then I'll go to my room, I promise.
All right. I'll be right back.
He's here for the same reason I am. We're going to stop you from hurting our friend.
Five minutes, Mr. Cutler.
5 minutes? I thought you said that it would be at least a half an hour.
Well, I was able to speed things up a bit.
Well, I suppose when you would enjoy hurting people, the sooner the better, eh, Doc?
I don't enjoy hurting people.
Oh, no? Well, you hurt my brother. You hurt him so bad he never recovered. You murdered him! Damn you, you murdered him!
Yes, I'm still trying to reach Keith Timmons. I already tried him at the police station. Yes, I tried him at home, and he isn't at either place. No message. I'll come back later.
Maybe you ought to sit down again.
Why?
Well, I got big news. I'm going to do something completely unprecedented.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Forget this penny ante hour business. We're going for broke.
Are you sure you can do that?
Well, you know, I think I'm overdue a little personal time. Besides, all I was doing down there is waiting for a report from the forensics lab to come in, and, you know, they can send it over here if they have to.
Oh, good. That's just great.
Yeah. I figured maybe I would help you with all these special dinner preparations. I mean, I used to be a good cook. I don't want to get
No, you're not supposed to cook. You're supposed to sit down and relax and be treated like a king. Here, let me go get you some iced tea.
Wait a second. Now you can give me some iced tea.
I always wanted to do this. Hope it's not too tight.
You'll never get away with this. I tried to tell you before, Kelly. You're only hurting yourself. You can't save your friend. It's too late now. No, it's not. I just saw him. He's fine. Oh, by the time you see him next, it'll be a different story. He's with Dr. Rawlings right now.
is it, Mr. Kupnik. We're ready. But first, I would like to say a few words about your brother. You seem to have some mistaken impressions.
Well, I'm afraid, Doctor, that you're the one that made the mistake. And you see, it cost my brother his life.
I'm afraid I was a little less than candid when I said that I was fond of the young man. I wasn't.
You actually...
I never wanted what happened.
You actually expect me to believe that?
All right, I see no reason why we can't get started. Mr. Kupnik seems to be ready, orderly. Let's begin.
Tonight on Highway to Heaven, can Jonathan save an addicted superstar? Then on Gimme a Break, it's a banquet of laughs when Nell has dinner with Gary Collins. Then it's comedy you can sink your teeth into when Jack Klugman and John Stamos go at it for laughs in You Again, followed by an unforgettable St. Elsewhere.
Hello, this is William Daniels, Dr. Craig of St. Elsewhere. As a viewer, I'm sure you have qualms about what's on TV. One thing is perfectly clear. St. Elsewhere will cure you of that trauma. Take St. Elsewhere Wednesday nights and call me in the morning.